Hello and welcome to today's math lesson. So first of all guys, can we all turn to wave and say a big hello to our friends on camera? Hello. Hello. And we'll begin by doing our meditation sequence. So I will sit down, take 2 fingers, find our heart center, left hand on our laps and close our eyes. When you're ready, guys, you can open your eyes and come back to the room. And next we'll do our stretch sequence. So let's stand up and push in our chairs. And for this sequence, we'll begin by rotating left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Excellent, guys. And now we'll do 5 stretches to our right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent, guys. And next we'll do 5 stretches to our left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Brilliant. And now let's shake it out. Arms and legs, shake it out. Shake it out. And next we'll take our right hand and we'll find our left foot. And then left hand on our right foot. Right hand, left foot. Left hand, right foot. Right hand, left foot. Left hand, right foot. And now guys, let's have a shake. Arms and legs. And to finish, we will do 5 claps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent, guys. Have a seat. Now, can anybody tell me or remember in the previous few math lessons, we were looking at different types of fractions? Does anybody remember beginning with E? Equivalent. Yes, quite a strange word, equivalent. So let's write that word on the board again. E, Q, U, I, V, A, L, E, N, T. Equivalent fractions. A-C-T-I-O-N-S. Excellent, guys. So altogether, equivalent fractions. And remember, the word equivalent basically means the same amount. How different fractions can show the same amount. So we'll write that. A-M-E-A-O-U-N-T. And what we're going to do now is a brief recap exercise so our students can demonstrate their understanding of how to draw equivalent fractions. So the first thing I need to do is draw a fraction on the board, then invite a student to come forward and draw the equivalent fraction with a different amount or the same amount. How many parts do we have, guys? 4 parts. And how many are coloured? 1. So we call this fraction 1 over 4, or 1/4. And now I'm going to ask a student to come forward and demonstrate their understanding of how to do equivalent fractions. And now the pen is with Pangpon. So Pangpon, come and join me at the front of class. What we're going to ask Pangpon to do is to draw an equivalent fraction of 1 over 4. So the first thing we need to do is we need another circle on the board. So Pangpon, you can draw a circle. Excellent. And Pangpon will demonstrate how to put the circle into 8 different parts. So we've got 2, 4, 6, and then 8. Okay, excellent, Pangpon. So now, because we've got 8 parts, our denominator can be 8. Yes. So who can tell me how many parts of our second circle needs to show the equivalent fraction of 1 over 4? Correct. So we can colour 2 fractions, 2 parts into this fraction. 1, 2. 2 over 8. Excellent. So together we can say 1 over 4. Pangpon, can you say 1 over 4, 2 over 8 are equivalent fractions. That was excellent, Pangpon. High five. Big round of applause for Pangpon, please, guys. And let's do a couple more equivalent fractions based on quarters. But first, I need to clean the board. Okay, so the next one we can do, we'll divide this one into 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, so we've got 12 parts to our circle. That's the denominator of our fraction. Now we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we've got 9 parts coloured. That means our fraction here is 9 over 12. And what I'm going to ask now is for another student to demonstrate an equivalent fraction. And this time it's Prell's turn to show an equivalent fraction to 9 over 12. So Prell, come and join me at the front. So we've got 9 over 12 as one fraction. This time we'll have a circle and we'll cut the circle into 4 parts. So what's our bottom number, guys? 4. Our denominator is 4. Now who can look at our fraction here, 9/12, and tell me how many parts need to be coloured into blue? 3. Perfect, yes. See, you understand about equivalent fractions. Here we have 9 over 12. Here we have 3 over 4, or 3/4. And if you look closely, they both represent the exact same amount, which is equivalent fractions. So one last time, guys, 9 over 12, 3/4, equivalent fractions of the same amount. Perfect. Proud, that was excellent. High five and a big round of applause for Proud, please, guys. Let's do one more together before we move on to something else. Okay, guys, this time you tell me, how many parts to our circle? 16. Wow, okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. 16. Okay, now who can think of a number we can use to colour the circles? Try to make it a divisor of 16. Again? Higher? 12. We can use 12. So let's count them first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, and we're having 12 in blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we know by now our fraction is 12 over 16. But now we're going to look for an equivalent number of this fraction. And to help me with this one, I would like to choose Pat. Come and join me at the front of class. And Pat will demonstrate an equivalent fraction for the one we have on the board. And you can stand there, Pat. So far we have a fraction 12 over 16. But our next fraction won't have 16 parts. It will have how many? 8, correct. So our denominator we know already is 8. Pat, you can write 8 as our denominator. Excellent. Now, how many parts, guys, do we need? 8. We have 8. Now have a look at this fraction here. How many parts? 4, is 4 enough? Higher? 7? No, we'll go one more. 9. Lower. We have 8 parts. 6. Correct. So, Pat, you can call it in 6 parts to this fraction. And 2 more. Yeah, that's 4. 5. 6. And then you can write your numerator above your denominator. 6, yes. Now look, guys, look at the way both of the amounts are the same, but they're just represented with different numbers. Altogether, we've got 12 over 16, 6 over 8, which are equivalent fractions, because they represent the same amount. Pat, that was excellent. High five and a big round of applause for Pat, please, guys. So that was a recap of the previous lesson when we learned how to do equivalent fractions based on quarters. We're going to move on now, but stay with fractions. But today, we're not looking at equivalent fractions. We want to compare fractions. We want to look to see if fractions are less than more than or equal to. So remembering our mathematical symbols already, guys, if something is more than, it's represented by this symbol here, more. If something is less, the arrow goes the other way, less. And if something is equal, if both are the same, we use the equal sign, E, Q, U, A, L. So altogether, more, less, equal. These are some of the symbols we're going to look at today when we're comparing different fractions. And now we've got a PowerPoint presentation for our students to observe and listen to learn how to compare different fractions. So let's turn to look at the TV screen, guys. So let's take a look at our PowerPoint presentation comparing fractions. Yes, and what comparing means is looking at different fractions to see if they're more, less, or equal. And here we have three different fractions. We have 1 over 5. We have 3 over 8. We have 3 over 4. Now, who can have a guess? And don't worry if you guess wrong, because we're only learning now. Which is the biggest fraction? No. I'll give you a clue. Look at the colours. Which has got the most shaded part?
3 over 4.
Yes. You see, 3 over 4, because there are 4 parts here, and 3 of them are shaded. And you can see the most part of the circle is shaded here. So in that case, which is the smallest fraction? 1 over 5. So it's a good idea when we're comparing fractions, you can draw your circles to work out the answers, because it's a lot easier to look at the actual picture of the circle than the numbers. So that's a tip for you to do. A fraction is a number that represents part of a whole. This fraction represents 1 over 4. Or we can also say 1/4. This fraction represents 2 over 8. Or 2/8. Both of these fractions represent the same amount. 1/4 of the circle. So when we're comparing these two fractions, we can say equal to. Okay? Because they both display the same amount. However, you can see here, 1 over 4 is equal to 2 over 8. Or looking at it the other way, 2 over 8 is equal to 1 over 4. They both represent the same amount. This is the symbol for less than, okay? So when it comes to the worksheet, this is the symbol for less than. And the opposite of less than? More than. And then if 2 are both the same, equal to. We use the equal symbol. This fraction represents 2 over 4. Or 2/4. When we compare both fractions, we can see the one on the right is bigger, because here we have 2/4 in green. What's bigger, the orange segment here or the green segment here? Yes, because we've got 2 over 4 bigger or more than 1 over 4. So we can say it two ways. We can say 1 over 4 is less than 2 over 4. Or looking at it the opposite way, 2 over 4 is more than 1 over 4. Yes. Now how about this one? Which is the larger fraction? Yes. So let's work them out together. How many parts to this circle here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many parts in green? 8. So here we've got 8 over 10. And what about this circle here? How many parts? How many in green? 3. So what do we think's bigger, guys? Look at the amount of green. 8 over 10 or 3 over 6? 8 over 10. You see how the best way to tell is by drawing the circle. Because you can see there's more green in this circle here. So that tells us this fraction is bigger. So we can say 8 over 10 is more than 3 over 6. Or looking at it the other way, 3 over 6 is less than 8 over 10. Okay, let's do one more together. Which is the larger fraction? So how many parts to this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 16. How many in green? Yes, and how many in green? 8. So 8 over 16. And how many parts to this circle? 10. How many parts in green? So 8 over 16 or 5 over 10. Which is larger? Now, a little clue. It's a trick. Look at the amount of colour in both fractions. Are they the same? Look at the amount of colour. You can tell by looking. Half of this circle is green. Half of this circle is green. What does that mean? Equal, yes. You see, here, nothing is more, nothing is less. They are equal. So we say 8 over 16 is equal to 5 over 10. Or 5 over 10 is equal to 8 over 16. These are both halves. What's half of 16? 8. What's half of 10? 5. So you can see they're both the same amount, half the circle. Any questions, guys? Okay, that was excellent. Well done. Welcome back to class. We hope your students enjoyed the PowerPoint presentation so that they can begin to understand how to compare different fractions and then decide which are more than, which are less than, and which ones are equal. And coming up, we've got a board activity for our students to demonstrate a little more. But before then, guys, time for our stretch sequence. So let's stand up and push in our chairs. And we can begin this one by walking on the spot. Stop. Jogging on the spot. Stop. Turn left. Turn left again. Turn left. And left. Hello. Jogging on the spot. Quickly. Stop. Jogging on the spot. Quickly. Stop. stop. Jogging on the spot. Stop. Turn right. Turn right again. Turn right. And right again. Hello. 5 star jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent, guys, and have a seat. Okay, so now for the next stage of our lesson, where we'll demonstrate how we can compare fractions. So let's write the title on the board first. Comparing C-O-M-P-A-R-I-N-G. And then fractions F-R-A-C-T-I-O-N-S. So all together, guys, comparing fractions. Yes, and remembering our 3 symbols that we need. What does this symbol mean? More than. And if that means more than, what does this symbol mean? Less than. Notice the way they go. More than to the right. Less than to the left. And then, if both are the same, what do we need? Equal to. And we use the equal sign. U-A-L-T-O. So we've got more than, less than, and equal to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write 2 fractions on the board and then invite a student to come forward and demonstrate if they're more than, less than, or equal to. So we need our first fraction on the board. What's our first fraction, guys? 2 over 4, or 2 quarters, is, and now we need our next fraction. Our next fraction, 3 over 4. So what we need to know, 2 over 4, what is it in relation to 3 over 4? And for this sequence, I would like to ask Net to come forward and help me on the board. So Net, bring your pen forward and we can do this one together. Okay, so remember I said earlier, the best way to work out when comparing fractions is to do a picture of your circle to help. So first of all, Ned, you can draw a circle here. And how many parts to the first circle? 4. So give your circle 4 parts. And how many are coloured? 2. So Ned, you can colour 2 parts. 1, 2. Okay. Now let's do the same with the next fraction, and then we'll be able to see what the relationship is. So one more circle here, Net. And how many parts? 4 again. But this time, how many are coloured? 3. So let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Now, Net, just stand back a minute so we can see. So which do we think is the bigger fraction? 3 over 4 is bigger. You can see the amount of colour inside the circle. So therefore, 2 over 4 is less than 3 over 4. So Net, we can draw this symbol here. Excellent. So all together, guys, 2 over 4 is less than 3 over 4. Net, that was brilliant. High five and a big round of applause for Net, please, guys. Let's do a couple more as a demonstration, but now we need some different fractions. This time we'll use different denominators. How about 4/6 is, what is it in relation to 1/3? So our two fractions, guys, 4/6, 1/3. Okay, so let's see who can come and work out this fraction for me. And now it's Prau's turn. So Prau, come and join me at the front and demonstrate by comparing these fractions. And remember, it's always a good idea to draw your fractions too. So first circle here, please, Prau, with 6 parts to it. 6. Okay, now how many parts do we need to colour in? 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, now let's move on to the next fraction, which is a circle with how many parts? 3. Okay, and then how many parts are coloured in? 1. Okay, now let's have a look at the two circles, guys. Which is bigger and which is smaller? 4/6 is bigger. You can see 4/6, more than half the circle is coloured. But 1/3, more than half the circle is not coloured. So what do we think 4/6 is? More than, yes. Okay. More than, MORETHAN. And Prau, to save you writing, you can also use the symbol. You can put that underneath or anywhere. Perfect. So all together, guys, 4/6 is more than 1/3. Perfect. High five. Big round of applause for Prau, please, guys. Let's do one more together. Let's see, this time we will use this time we're looking 2/8 in relation to 1/4. Okay, and this time, Pak Bung, you can work it out for me. So bring your marker pen to the front. And the first circle, how many parts will we need for our first circle? 2/8, so 8 parts. 2, 4, 6, 8. And how many parts are coloured? 2. 2. Perfect. And then onto our next fraction, a circle with 4 parts and 1 coloured. So circle, 4 parts. Okay, now have a look at both circles, guys. Which one is bigger? Look closely. Really? Equal. If you look closely, you will see they are both representing the same amount. How many times does 2 go into 8? 4. How many times does 1 go into 4? 4. Therefore, these are equivalent fractions. And when fractions are equivalent, they are equal to. So we can draw the equal sign. And say together, guys, 2/8 is equal to 1 over 4. And this is how we do comparing equal fractions. Pat Boone, that was excellent. High five. Big round of applause for Pat Boone, please, guys. Now it's time for our worksheet activity part of the lesson. So teachers, make sure every student in your class gets their own worksheet. And what they need to do in this worksheet activity is to look at the two different fractions in each question and then decide in relation to each one if they're more than, less than, or equal to. And remember earlier in the lesson I said it's always a good idea to draw a circle or a bar to represent your fraction, because looking at it visually helps you to answer it better than just looking at the numbers. So remember to draw your circles, guys, like we've been doing here. But what's the first thing we need to do? Names on top. And give our students around 10 to 12 minutes for this activity and help them with anything they need. So lack out for you. Bang bomb for you. You're welcome. Palau, here's yours.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. Down for you.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. Chew for you.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. Nadia, here's yours.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. Pat for you. You're welcome. You're welcome. And Ned for you. Okay. So let's do the first one together, guys. We've got 3 over 4 or 1 over 2. 3 over 4, so we divide into 4 parts and we call it in 3 of them. And then 1 over 2, 2 parts, and one of them is coloured. Now what do we think? Is 3 over 4 more than, less than, or equal? More than. You can see, look at the circle and how much of it is coloured. So simply write the symbol. 3 over 4, 3/4, is more than 1 over 2, 1/2. By drawing the circle, you can see how much is shaded, and it's far easier to do the answers. Even me, at my age, when I have to do them, I still have to draw the circle because it's easier to see the amount of colour or shade. And if you need any more help, guys, let me know. And don't forget, some of them might be equal. Like we learned about equivalent fractions, they can be the same amount. Excellent, Lackow. Bang on, well done. That's very good. So, great to see you guys, and nice to see you using your circles too. Doesn't always have to be a circle. I just find it easier, but you can use bars or anything else for your fractions. But I find a circle works better, like a pizza or a pie. Correct. 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 Well done, Prao. Equal. 1/4 is the same as 2/8. And if you need any help, guys, let me know. Pat Bone, well done. Pat, that's very good. And Nadia too. Welcome back to class. We hope your students enjoyed the worksheet activity where they could look at the different fractions in each question and compare them and write the answer in relation to the size, either more than, less than, or equal to. And remember, equal to works for equivalent fractions, which are the same amount. And that's all we've got time for today's lesson. So we hope you found it interesting and enjoyed it too. And we'll see you again soon for the next lesson. So can we all turn to wave and say goodbye, guys? Goodbye. Bye-bye. See you again next time.